Taylor Motorsports Products is your first stop for quality safety equipment for your car or your driver. All of our safety equipment products are made in our facility in Albany, Oregon. From custom fit fire suits to racing seat belts, supercharger restraints, engine diapers, transmission blankets, and many other must-have items. Our racing history runs deep. We are racers building the finest safety equipment for racers. And we're a proud supporter of the CHAOS.
And we are live with CHAOS Live, just after rolling away from our East Coast debut. David Rattan, voice of the series. What a great East Coast debut for Funny Car CHAOS it was. The demand has been there for a while, and we supply.
The supply showed up. I'm telling you, we had 30 cars that came out, and what, you know, I'd never been there before. I don't know if you had been there before or not, but what a great racetrack. I mean, to tell you, I was on the way to the racetrack, and I kept looking for something like a highway sign that would say Maryland International Raceway. Didn't see that, but I sure saw Bud's Creek. And that's when, you know, growing up, I would read the articles from the racing events that took place back in the day, and it was Bud's Creek. And pulled in the gate and looked to the left, and there's the shutdown area. And I'm like, man, this is a long racetrack. And we get down there to it, and the big grandstands, the huge tower, and it was absolutely a beautiful place to have a racetrack and a great place to have a race. And boy, did we have one as the East Coast Funny Car contingent showed up big time. And you know, Lee, we really didn't know exactly how to expect it to go down, but I'm not sure it could have been any better. There were so many cars, and there was such great racing, so close. And man, I tell you what, that was really a race to be at. Big stories, and we'll cover those tonight. And but I was excited to be there with that group. Royce Miller and his team, man, they know how to host a good party, don't they?
I certainly agree with you. The facility, top notch. They could hold a national event, and it fit there just fine. And though they might not host a national event the way that we understand it, we certainly were not a first-time big show for them. They host big shows in the world of drag racing, in many different types of drag racing, because drag racing certainly is a diverse sport within the diversity that is motorsports. And it is so cool that Funny Car CHAOS can be a part of those big events as well that Maryland International Raceway has. And we bring our diversity within the sport of drag racing to that track and continue to add to the mystique and the history of that facility. People want to race there. People want to experience it as racer and fan. I know in speaking with Jim Gifford, as it'll be in the recap that I'm working on, certainly he was excited that they were racing at MIR and excited that Royce Miller had it back in his possession and the future that it has before it. And you have people like Gary Pritchett saying what a great pairing with Funny Car CHAOS and MIR and Royce Miller and racing there in a home track. So it certainly is a great partnership made and in the making, because I've had a lot of folks, I see it on the back channels of the social media feeds for Funny Car CHAOS. They keep saying, we hope we have you back next year. Well, you don't have to hope. We know that we will be back. I'm not sure what the days are, but we're going to be there for several years to come. So if you enjoyed what you got, your dose of chaos, you can get it again next year and bring someone along and let them get chaotic too.
Yeah, we had a good crowd there, and Mother Nature threw us a little curveball there on Friday night. We did manage to get our qualifying round in, as only one was scheduled that night. And the burnouts for Bunny and Bear, the Altereds and the Dragsters, and that great group, man, Jagger was on our show last week, of course, talking about the burnouts for Bunny and Bear, and that race program was really exceptional. I mean, it could not have been a better compliment to the show, and we are anticipating the opportunity to go back. And for those of you that were there and you enjoyed it, I see the posting on social media from the Miller family that stating their objective is that Maryland International Raceway, they're not going anywhere. They're not looking to sell. They're not looking to close. They're not looking to anything except to continue to hold great races there and to be a home for the racers in that part of the world, to have a fantastic place to come and do the racing. So if you liked what you saw there, be sure and let them know how much you appreciate it and that you would like to have it back. And we certainly know what the plan is. And but there's never enough that can be said about stating your preferences and letting Royce and his crew, his team know that you appreciate having CHAOS there at Maryland International Raceway. Could be even bigger. Could be even better next year. We had 41, I believe it was 41 cars that were pre-entered, and we talked about that on our show last week, how we would exceed 200 entries that have been run in Funny Car Chaos competition. There were actually 11 racers that were on the poster that didn't, for one reason or another, get a chance to be there and race. So right now, Lee, we're sitting at 198.
Oh,
so we are just short of that 200 after we expected to blow it out of the water. But right now we're sitting at 198. That's still no small feat. And that's still something to be extremely excited about and very proud of. But we just didn't quite get that double century mark. And so we've got 2 more races left to go. Might we reach that 200 mark? I know there's one team entered at Mocan that would be their first time. But I think you got some good feedback from the racers there, Lee, about now that they've experienced a little of the magic of Funny Car Chaos, that they might want to run a few more. In fact, one of our guests tonight, I think, had stated that they intend to run a couple of Chaos races, maybe 2 or 3 Chaos races next year. But am I right? Is that kind of the sentiment that you got from interviewing racers?
I certainly did get that sentiment. Again, many of the racers that we had at this event, they had expressed when I had spoke with them at other events, whether it was Eastside Speedway with their funny car event or Keystone Dragway with their funny car event, that, hey, we want to run Chaos, but we're just not quite sure about it, making such a commitment to go run that far. But since bringing it and they see what it's all about and what it is like, and I'm sure talking to someone like a Jordan Ballou and a Wayne Hoffman and a Justin Malott, those that have been in it and experienced it, have become regulars even, that they are like, we've got to get more of this Chaos. So whether it's Gary, Cody, Drew Sweetman getting out of the car was like, oh, we plan on doing more traveling and experiencing Chaos, because I really have to think that many of the competitors that we saw on the East Coast, they got something that frankly they're not used to with booked-in shows and match racing, because those usually are different atmospheres. Great, but different, because this was round by round, win light by win light, sudden death situations to go earn a trophy. And racers, what do they want to do? They want to race, and that is competition. They are competitors, and they were able to get the competitive juices flowing in the Chaos.
Boy, you got that right, and you could just sense that there was a great deal of enthusiasm at the driver meeting. As okay, here we are, we're gathered around, we're going to talk about the race, and Chris gets up and gives his normal introduction and talks about what you can expect at a Chaos race and goes over the various things. And I was making a run through the pits, and I got a chance to see some people that because even though there were a lot of first-time competitors at the race this weekend, there were a handful that we had seen before. In fact, we had the 2 China Syndrome cars there, and of course Wayne Hoffman wound up being runner-up in the B Field, but George Ridenauer has his China Syndrome Vega, and I've been looking to see George Ridenauer come back to a chaos race ever since 2019, and we got a chance. He remembered me, and I very well remembered him, and got a chance to talk. But one of the things he said that really struck me, he said that was one of the best days at the races that we've ever had, and he was referring to 2019, 2018, I guess it was, back at Central Illinois Dragway. But yeah, I think we could put this past weekend on that list for. I'm not going to put any words in anybody's mouth, but you could sense that there was a great amount of enjoyment, because while it is competitive, it's not cutthroat. You definitely want to get to the finish line first, and we saw so many great races. And I was just looking at the final rounds. 4 final rounds that were just absolutely incredible, whole shot victories, and of course, if you're from Maryland, 3 out of the 4 finals were won by racers from the home state. So you got to be feeling pretty good about folks from Maryland being at Maryland International Raceway and taking home that trophy. And man, the winner circle celebrations were emotional. They were terrific. There was a lot of excitement, and that that funny car on top of the concession stand means a lot there. And to have Little Bear getting the win, that carried a lot of weight right there. And that was just one of the many, many stories that will be chronicled in perhaps tonight and in into the future as we continue to recap the East Coast stop, the first one ever for Funny Car Chaos.
Certainly, and yes, emotional. Myself, Chris, we didn't go by and tell these East Coast Funny Car Chaos competitors that, oh, by the way, if you win, I'm going to stick a camera in your face. And you got a whole range of emotion from like Drew Sweetman. He's like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, just say whatever you want to say. And then people thanking everyone and just saying how great of a race it is. And you're going to get a glimpse of that with the winners tonight. And you'll get the full taste of it in the recap that I am working on, but certainly emotional across the board with these competitors. David, we got Cody queued up and he's ready to go, but I do want to go over a few comments here. Jim Gifford, Helger, woohoo, my hero, the reason I prefer men, please marry me. Cody, you have a proposal. You can answer that once you get on. We definitely want to give a shout out to Diamond State Digital. They were producing the flowracing.com stream for us. They say, evening, gents. A great weekend had by all. Thanks for allowing us to be a small part of it. Great working with everyone involved. Well, you're certainly not a small part of it. You all did a tremendous job, and thanks for sending the footage along to me as I work on the official recap for Funny Car Chaos. And we got plenty of comments here, David, people saying that it was a great show. They can't wait for it to come back. Paul even says here that he drove 500 miles to watch Cody Helger win. And speaking of how good of a show it was, Proud American Motorsports, Keith Mitchell and the gang. Good evening, Lee and David. Guys, they'll be at Mocan, and if you want to take a ride, you can do that. I got to do it. It is fun. It is fun, and it is enlightening on what people in drag racing are getting to experience. So, Proud American Motorsports, it's better than a roller coaster ride. Be there at Mocan. That's coming up. David, we'll take a break. We'll hear from Cody and then have the man himself on who picked up a Funny Car Chaos win.
All right, we'll be right back.
Number 1 and number 2 qualifiers, actually. 69 Camaro and a 1976 Monza. Big block Chevy power all around.
So Mozzarella is going to go with the right side of the racetrack. Helger in the left. Light's going to be down as they're going to be side by side. Cody Helger in the Dazed and Confused going to the winner's circle. 428 with a 4 there for the Helger camp, as he had to drive around Mozzarella, who was better on the ranch.
In one of the most beautiful cars that you will ever see in funny car competition, Dazed and Confused. Well, they have dazed and confused the competition here in the C Field, the Wulff Pumps C Field. Cody Helger, he gets it done. Man, I know that you are a heck of a driver. You're a heck of a teamer, a tuner, and I've seen you get the job done before, but you just got the job done heads up, elimination style, round by round for the East Coast debut of Funny Car Chaos.
Guys, great race. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. This is an awesome opportunity. I hope it comes back to MIR. We love this track. Thanks to all my guys, everyone, all supporters at home. Feels good. Feels real good.
It's got to feel good. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
There he is. Welcome to the show, Cody.
David, how are you?
Doing really, really well. Man, it's good to see you and to see that beautiful 69 Camaro in the background. Hey, looks like you've got you got more than one funny car in the house.
Yeah, there's another one hiding back there. That's hoping to come out next year. We'll see what happens with that one.
All right. Well, I tell you what, you are on a roll, sir. I understand that this particular season, I don't know, maybe it always goes this way for you, but a couple of weekends in a row or a couple of races in a row, you guys are really on top of it.
Thank you very much. We've had a good season. We do a lot of racing with the Mozzarellas, and they invite us to a lot of stuff, and we really like racing with them. And to have him in the final was just awesome. And so I've raced him in a lot of finals. What can I say? We love running the funny car, and to go to this race and actually have to qualify, like Lee was saying, and really, make it through the totem pole. Climb the totem pole, I should say. It was really a good feeling. It was excellent event, excellent track. One of my favorite tracks to race at, and just the whole event with Chris Graves did an excellent job with it, and Royce with the track itself. Unbelievable. What can I say? Great event. Can't wait to do the next one.
Man, I second the emotion there. It's going into Maryland International and just seeing the site. I mean, it's a spectacle to be there, and you're running on a big stage and a great stage. You're talking about the Mozzarellas. We had them on the show last weekend, and I was looking at the results, and I was thinking, you might not be on their Christmas card list. I don't know, since you took out Krista in the first round and Chris in the final round.
It's never like that, though. I mean, they're really good friends of mine, and they run an awesome program. How they run two cars like that's a lot of work, and I'm really happy for them to have them both there, and husband and wife team going at it together. I think it's super cool. Good people. I was also there with my friend John Wall, real good friend of mine. Actually got started driving a funny car. He called me before I really knew him that well, and said, "Hey, you want to drive a funny car this weekend?" And so I could thank him for really getting me started in a flopper. And to be racing with guys like him and Jimmy Gifford with the Nitro cars, they're really guys that I look up to, and I'd like to be in the same spot as them, sooner than later. So
that's great. Well, expand on that a little bit. When John called you up and said, "Hey, you want to drive a funny car?" How long ago has that been? And kind of bring us all up to date on your history.
Actually, yeah, he called me in 2013 for the Hot Rod Reunion. It was the first year to come to New England Dragway, and he was driving his boss's car in Pro Comp, and he said, "Would you mind wheeling my car in Pro Comp, because I can't drive both?" I said, "Yeah." And we ended up going to the semifinals, first weekend in a funny car, and first 6-second pass for me, first 200-mile-an-hour pass for me. So he really opened up some doors for me driving, just let me drive his car that weekend, and I can't thank him enough for that. I mean, and I've driven it for him since. And, you know, I've offered him my car. We just trust each other, and I'm always going to him for advice, and we help each other out. And just real deal funny car racer. And I'm lucky to be surrounded by good people like him and the opportunities that I've gotten, you know.
Well, that is a big deal to have somebody open the door for you. But then when you step into the, you know, climb into the seat and deliver, you know, I think that speaks volumes for you as a racer and as a gentleman. And I tell you, you guys have really put together a great series of runs. Is that about what your car normally runs? We're not from that part of the country. We're not familiar with sea level air. And,
Right.
And you guys were very consistent and very consistently quick.
Thank you. It actually runs a little faster than that usually, but I think the blow is dead, unfortunately. So it's been actually the fastest that car has been was at MIR. I did money maybe 2 years ago, and it's been 417 and 171. But it slowed down a little bit for this race. We lost some altitude with the air and stuff. Boost wasn't where it should be, but it was running consistent, so I just left it alone. And I'm torn in a lot of different race directions during the summer, so unfortunately I couldn't devote all my time to that. I do Hot Rod Drag Week. I mess around with a pro mod in the back there too for another guy, so I stay busy. I'm always jumping from one car to another, so kind of hard to concentrate on one, but it was running consistent. I felt like we were good to go there, and the consistency delivered, I think.
Now, is the Dazed and Confused, does that come from the movie?
Yes, actually, I drove this car for a guy right after I was driving John's car at that race. I got called to drive this car, and I drove it for him for maybe 8 years or so. And then I had the opportunity to purchase it 2 years ago, so I did.
Yeah. Cherie similarly is tuned in, and she's like, love his accent. Don't think he's from East Texas. Now, it sounds you and Jagga sound a lot alike talking about the car.
Yep.
And Rhode Island and Massachusetts being right there side by side. You know, your semifinal matchup, you came up against Justin Millott in that one, and that was quite a match. And you got the job done at the starting line, and that's what put you into the final round. Take us through that semifinal there.
Yes, I didn't know Justin. I didn't recognize the car. I don't really follow too much racing outside of when I'm there. So to line up with him, I knew the car was running good. I tend to take it easy on my lights during qualifying. I don't try to kill a tree, and then I don't know. I just flip a switch first round and start chipping them down. And I felt like I was on for most of the day. So to strap the whole shot on him felt good, but he ran good. I mean, that's a fast car, so I had to do something. So made up for it some way, you know.
Well, yeah, that was you got the starting line edge in the first and second round, but then Chris got the starting line edge on you, but you had the horsepower to come around and get
edge on me. I feel like he always bangs a good hole shot, but yeah, we had the power, and he was actually really putting down some numbers faster than he usually runs. So I was super happy for him there. He's got the tune up right on the money. But I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't going into that final thinking that was going to be an easy win for sure.
No, definitely not. You've seen them before, and you're good friends with them, and to line up side by side, somebody's taking home the trophy, and it wound up being you. Hey, what do you do? I mean, obviously, you spend a ton of time with race cars, but what do you do? What else do you do?
I have a tree service, tree removal company. Got 9 employees and real good guys, all very supportive, all my age. They hold up the fort while I'm gone. They like what I do. Got them in the cars too, so they got street cars and hot rods, and it's a big family. It's a really good deal, and fortunately that's enough to kind of help fund what we're doing here, and very fortunate, that's for sure. My dad owns a Helger Brothers speed shop. So he's got a speed shop and fixes hot rods, antique cars, things like that. So it's always been it's always been in the family for sure. I just thought doing the tree service was a little different. It's definitely profitable, and I enjoy it. And I think it helps me enjoy the car side of things more because I'm not working on them all day making a living. So my escape is to when I get to the garage and start wrenching on these.
Yeah, the tree service, you're not going to find much business if you move to Albuquerque. We just have gone from one extreme to the other, and Albuquerque is beautiful in its own way. But oh my goodness, on the East Coast, the trees, and I recognize you're from further up the coast, but you know the amount of trees, the amount of woods, and just the absolute beauty of that part of the country was striking. I rather than fly in, fly out this time, I made the drive, and it was quite the hike, but what beautiful country I got a chance to see. So you own the company, and your dad owns a speed shop, and so entrepreneurship and love of cars kind of comes from your family.
Oh yeah, definitely ran in the blood. My father started racing at a very young age with a flathead dragster. I have a twin brother, Jesse, and there was no junior dragsters for us. Our first time down a drag strip was probably 2008, maybe. My cousin made me a fake driver's license, and we had a chassis research dragster with a front engine, obviously small block, carbureted, and that was it. It said, if anything bad happens, hold the wheel tight, keep your head low, and put it to the wood. And that all started there. By 16, I was in a blown front engine dragster, and it just never stopped. It's in the blood now.
Oh yeah, I'd say that you are hooked for life, and that's good for us and for all the fans across the country to get a chance to learn the name Cody Helger and see you race and see you run in your funny car, or as I should say, funny cars, as you got that extra one back there. What's the plans going forward for your racing operation if you continue to have a successful business to fund your entry into whatever you want to do? What's the future looking like for Cody?
The future, I got to concentrate on one thing is what I got to do because I'm bouncing all over the place right now. It's tough because, you pull up into staging and, you got Jimmy Gifford there with the nitro car and John, and I'm listening to them things. And that's 100% what I want to do is have a nitro car. Could I afford to do one? Probably. Can I afford to run a nitro car, a drag week car, a pro mod, an alcohol funny car all at the same time? No. So I kind of got to pick what I want to do here going forward. But, it's just, I get pulled in a lot of different directions. So, but I like them all. It's tough, but definitely, running this CHAOS event and seeing what it could do, it really showed me that there is something to do with these cars. I love the match race and I love the stuff, but it's like, wow, do I really want to build a nitro car just a match race? And then you get a series like this that comes along, and then we qualified, we ran well. It's like, oh man, I could definitely see myself going in that direction. And, I got the support. I got an awesome crew. They're all older guys that go with me, except my friend Squig, who came back. He's got a business and he's my right-hand man. He goes with me all the time. But he's running a big electrical business right now. He's just got married. He's got a kid. So I get it. It's tough to get away, but he came with us and we got the win. So it was his first time back in like 2 years, and to win with him there, it was awesome. And, I got my dad with me, which is awesome. Ward, great guy, another guy always here helping me clean the car, work on stuff. Bobby, Kucha, these guys are always just taking times out of their lives to make this happen. And I got a very, very supportive, patient girlfriend at home that definitely helps this situation too, who loves going. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it this weekend because of work. She's a nurse, but it helps to have the support. And that's my plan going forward. If this can keep, I got these guys going with me. I think I'm surrounded by some pretty good people. I think we can make it happen. I'd like to step up the game eventually.
Outstanding. Well, looking at that picture of you and your crew there, you guys made some extraordinary memories that you'll be able to share with each other as long as you live. But one thing I think is you guys created some extraordinary memories for me and for Lee and for Chris Graves and for all those thousands of people that were in the stands watching the event. my next question was, what were your thoughts about the CHAOS experience, and you just kind of went right into that the competition rather than just match racing certainly is something that you can see yourself doing, and that hey, we know a place that you can race. It's a little far from Rhode Island to some of our races, but hey, we are definitely open to having more people join the fun. And I hope you had as much fun there as we did hosting you and having you race in our series. My goodness, it was really, really a blast. So thank you very much for being there.
Really unbelievable. And I just want to say one more thing, and for you guys and Chris Graves, when we first pulled up into the staging lanes for the first qualifier to see 30, 32 funny car bodies stood up, it was the hair on your neck stands up. So we're big time nostalgia races, and that's probably the closest we'll ever get to it again, seeing a 32 car field. It was really, really something to see, and for you guys to put that on, and Chris, that's a lot of work. It was an excellent run event. They ran through the cars quick. The cleanups were quick. There was very minimal cleanups, but it was really well organized, and for a racer to go there with a crew, and not even a nitro car, but just an alcohol car, to have an event run smooth like that, it really takes the load off, and the stress levels are down. So we to go to that, it was amazing. You guys did a great job. It's unbelievable.
Well, thank you. We always appreciate it when we hear that, and that's kind of the deal. Chris started with a very simple concept, and rule number one is to have fun. And sometimes you can go to the races and it will feel kind of like a job, and that's not why you're there. You got a job, you got things like that, but we really want people to come to the races and have fun. And so far, thanks to great people like you and your crew and your family and your team and the others that showed up there, man, we're having fun. We're having a lot of fun. In fact, this weekend we're going to go to Mocan Dragway. There's 34 cars entered, so another big show like you just experienced. And when we open the season in 2024 at the Texas Motorplex, if we have 64 funny cars, it wouldn't be the first time.
Wow, unbelievable. I lost you there, David.
Stuff happens when you're live, and we'll have to let David come back in and check back in with us. Cody,
can you hear me?
David. Okay, David's back.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm not sure where I trailed off there, but if you get a chance to come to run the Funny Car Classic at Texas Motorplex when we open the season in 2024 or 2025, as your career advances and you decide to make the haul for one of those deals, you're going to get a chance to have that same type of experience. And we feel the same way. We look out and we see all those cars in the staging lanes with the bodies up. It's just like when I was a little kid, and there I would get so excited to see 6 of them, but to see 60 of them or 30 of them, man, it's magnificent. And again, well, listen, I know that you've got things to do, but you have really done a great job of sharing your story and sharing the enthusiasm that you have for racing. And man, we could not be more excited that you have added your name to the list of Funny Car CHAOS winners.
Thank you very much, David and Lee. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are a class act, the whole deal, really.
We appreciate it. Hey, before you go, tell everybody, I don't have any footage of it, but tell everybody what your funny car does that, well, like no one else's funny car does.
What's that?
The prop.
Oh, all right.
You don't have to take it in and out. You just pin it, boom, you're good to go.
Oh, the prop rod. Oh, yeah, that is cool. That was actually a Jerry Streb deal. He made that, and because it was him and his wife racing, and I can't see taking it off. That thing works good.
Yeah, it's funny to see this guy raise his own body and go at the top end. He's good.
Yeah, check everything out, and it works out really well. It's a few almost like rear hatch pistons off SUV, and Yeah, I can't take credit for that. That was Jerry Streb. That's a good deal. That thing works good.
Wow, I missed that part. That's going to be one of those things to look for next time we get a chance to see you. And I hope that that's soon.
Thanks, guys. I hope the same. And I think you'll see us at more than one CHAOS event next year for sure.
Outstanding. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the Wulff Pumps C Field, Cody Helger, who put the Dazed and Confused Camaro into the winner's circle and became a Funny Car CHAOS winner in his first try. Thank you very much for being with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Well, David, we do have Mr. Pritchett ready to go. He is back there in the green room. So
all right.
I think it's only natural. We'll take a break. We'll show a glimpse of his win and put him on, well, the hot seat for CHAOS here on CHAOS Live.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Larice Motorsports Insurance offers drag racers the broadest insurance policies in the industry. Larice Motorsports Insurance was created by racers for racers. Larice insures race cars on and off the track, trailers and equipment. Larice even pays racers contingencies at the fling bracket races. Don't wait until it's too late. Call Larice Motorsports Insurance today.
Well, that's a family affair there. Wayne Hoffman knows that he can count on the signals coming from his backup guides in tandem out there.
Can the hometown car left side of the racetrack get it done? Gary Pritchett, the wheelman. Wayne Hoffman, right side. As behind is going to be Pritchett. It's going to be Gary Pritchett. 3. Is going to be Bunny and the boys, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll let him get the gear off. What a stellar run, a 396 in the final. What great representation here at Maryland International Raceway for the team, the boys. Bunny Burkett, the funny car, her funny car is on the top of the cafe, and they are going to be hosting up a trophy at the end of the night. Mr. Pritchett, congratulations.
Thank you so much. This win, let me get it together. This win meant more than any win I've ever had in my life. We did it for Bunny. We did it for Bear. Thank you to everybody involved, all the sponsors. I don't normally cry like this, but man, it's Funny Car CHAOS. It's a lot. All these guys that come, we're a big family out here. It was nice to win. I got to thank Spell Paving, Bonifant. I got to thank all my guys back at the shop, the Capco boys. Dom, Sarah, my girlfriend Jessica, I got my mom here, I got my whole family. If I was going to win any race in my entire career, this is it. Go Funny Car CHAOS. We love you guys.
Wow, what a great interview. I hadn't seen that before, and the emotion was pretty raw right there. Welcome to the show, Little Bear.
How's it going?
Man, it could not be going much better. We're glad you have taken the opportunity to be with us tonight. Man, we're celebrating you taking home that big win in the Alkydigger B Field. What a night it was.
It was a night to remember for us and our family a lot. I wish I woke up I woke up this morning in the last 3 or 4 days and thought, man, I wasn't dreaming. That actually did happen. We really did go there and win in front of the hometown crowd with Bunny's car, with Mo Burkett there. Julie Burkett, a tribute race for my dad and Bunny, and to be able to say that you won that event, I don't think I'll ever be able to top that. That's what dreams are made of. That's what you plan to do and try to do, and we were able to execute it, and it was very special.
It was indeed very special, and and for you and your whole crew, but for everybody at that racetrack, Bunny and your dad meant so much to so many, and the jubilation in that picture right there just kind of says it all, Gary. It really does.
Yeah, it does. I mean, that's only about a quarter of what we had in one of the pictures. We had it was cool to win with DJ Cox. We had his whole team, my whole team, and then there was probably 30 or 40 people in the picture after that, and it just a testament to the Budds Creek, Maryland, Royce Miller and Bunny had such a strong relationship for many years, and she was a fan favorite there. And you just hear generations of driver or fans coming through when they were a kid, and then their kids met Bunny, and then now they have grandkids that met Bunny, and then they tell all the stories growing up coming there. And just, she always had such a the personality to have to when you met her, you would never forget it. And she always made you feel very special and always took time with you, to where it was, that's what Bunny and the boys were known of. And that's why we try and continue her legacy. I mean, and to do it at that track. And like you say, the snack bar there has her 1986 world champion funny car on it. It's the actual chassis and body. I mean, to have that there on top of the snack bars and to remember her forever is super special. And sorry, I'm in this trailer right now. I'm actually at the U.S. Nationals, and I got my super comp car here and a couple other cars. We just got done running. I'm like, hey, I got to go catch this interview. So that's why I'm in this trailer. But anyways, as far as the Bunny deal too, is just, I had my best guys on it, and we were able to execute it.
Yeah, you did. I was looking through the record of each round, and you guys out horsepowered everybody, and capping it off in the final round with that sub 4 second run. You know, you guys were ready. So how long have you been planning on running the funny car at this event?
So we first heard word of it, I think it was a year ago when we found out about it, and we've match raced that car for the last, 10, 15 years without, entering it into like a divisional or national event. And that was kind of a race for us. Normally we get booked in to make 2 runs and we put on a Chicago style show. We always run with the same guys, like actually Billy Naves and Matt Stanball, we always get booked in with. And I'll go back to that. But as far as entering the race, we prepared for it. The last 5 years, we've been hurting the motor a lot, and we found a lot of issues. And my crew chief, I'm going to call him Aaron Cave, we're out here full-time top field racing, and we've been out here since 2007. The reason we're out here is because of Bunny, and we are Bunny's boys, and there's a couple more guys out here, John Boyce and Adam Cave. We all came from what we call the School of Bunny. She taught us everything we know, and then she let us go when we were old enough to drive down the road. I didn't go to college. I went straight to David Powers Motorsports and went racing. But what I'm going to get back to is we planned it. We finally got the motor happy at the beginning of this year. We went to Summer Duck Dragway, not having to run it hard. We went 397 to the 8th mile, and that car hasn't run that in, like I say, 5 years. It's every time we take it out, we would hurt a motor, and it's just you got a tight budget racing like that, and we were skeptical entering Funny Car Chaos because you don't know what if you're gonna have money to cover it, and we were like, what, the motor's finally doing good, it's happy. We got some help from some sponsors, we got some new tires, I got some new clutches from Bonifant Friction, and we were like, if we're gonna do it, let's go for it. And went out there and made the first lap. It kind of shook on me a little bit. I plugged the gear, and it just kind of went on down through there and went 416. The next round, we kind of had the same tune-up we had in Summer Duck, and the track just wasn't there, and we just overpowered it and shook real hard. And then the last round, we weren't going to run the third qualifier, and we decided to run it because we wanted to go into race day with knowing that we could go down the racetrack. So we went out there and just didn't want to hurt it, and just did a nice, easy run down the track. And then not sure. I think we were number 1 going into that to the B field, and we weren't sure what we were going to run, if we were going to end up in the A field or B field, but we ended up in the B field. And next thing you know, we're coming down the return road, and we find out we run our family car, pretty much, the Stanballs, Matt and Robin Stanball, and they've been with us forever. And Matt he's drove Bunny's car for years, and then we knew after that first round we were going to end up racing Billy Naves, or I forget who he was racing, but it was like, we're lined up to race all the guys we've already raced with all the years. So it was like putting on another match race. We went out there to have fun and put on a show for Bunny and the crowd and Funny Car Chaos. And it was what we always did. And we got to do it next to the people we love the most, Matt and Billy Naves. And then, like I say, then we went to the final with, that index deal was pretty tricky too, because we weren't sure what the car was going to run. We ended up 403 first round, 183. Then when the second round, I remember saying, well, it's probably, we got it set to repeat, but what if we break out of that index? And I remember Aaron and I looked at each other and said, it is what it is. Let's see what it does. I thought maybe it would run a 399. It went 4 flat at 184, and then we get ready for the next one, and got to run Wayne Hoffman, and that guy's a class act. He's definitely you can tell where he comes from, and I remember him saying we're going to do 8th mile burnouts, and he's going to do 8th mile burnout for Bunny, and he did. And same deal. It was not sure where it's going to run. We're just going to get on the racetrack and try and repeat. And the car went out there and performed, and went 396 at 184. So we went 403, 404 flat, and 396, 183, 184, 184. And to say you did that that car hasn't done that in 15, 20 years. So, and we got to do it there, and we did it. And it was just like we had somebody helping us from up above, Bunny and Bear and all the others. And it was a very special deal. And I wish I could go back and do it again in the next 100 years.
Wow, that is, you got the numbers down. You've got it all exactly right. It was picture perfect. And there's times, Gary, that you go to a race and you can feel the magic. And that Saturday night was definitely one of those times, not only for you, because I know you felt it, but it was the conversation, the buzz everywhere. You could absolutely feel it. The magic of that race was palpable. And to have the opportunity to be a part of it, oh wow! We're enjoying it with you, and sharing that rush. Bill Naves is chiming in. Beautiful Saturday night at MIR, and it was in more ways than one. So, wow, you guys are at Indy coming off of this, and you're still feeling it. I can tell.
Oh, yeah, I'll be feeling it forever, and I haven't even seen 3/4 of the people out here. And I'm not kidding you. I've been here all day. We've been getting the Capco car ready for Top Fuel, and we've actually all the teams parked today. And I got my race car out here. I got a buddy of mine driving it. I got my girlfriend Jessica's car is out here. I got a ton of people out here. We're racing Super Comp and all these. I love being over on the sportsman side of it too when I can. And we got 3 time trials a day, and that's where I've been all day. And it's like every single person I've run into has come up and talked about that race and how special that was. And it was more than just a race. It was magical. It was a beautiful Saturday night, like Billy Nave said. I can't even put into words what it meant. And I just remember, each time the wind light come on, you're racing your buddy and you're just going to put on a good show. But each time I bawled my eyes out on top, and I get off the end, and I just remember the last one when that 396 come up. That 96 number is a big deal for me because Bunny was always 296. And we always talked about license plates, all this, whatever. I just thought, what if this car goes out there and runs a 96 in the final? And I knew that she would make that happen. And I'm getting emotional about it right now talking about it, but it's just a special deal. And 396 come up on the board, and I just remember I just lost it all the way till I made the turn off to do the interview. And that's why I still had all those emotions, because it was more than a drag race. It was more than, I don't know. It was just magical. I can't even put it into words. I wish I could go back and do it again. And that's why I say every day I woke up since that day, I've said, wow, it wasn't a dream. We actually did that. We actually won it. I'll never be able to thank all the people involved, Mo Burkett for still pushing us to go, and Julie and Sherry and Aaron Cave, Scott Vance is on the car doing the clutch, Jimmy, Jeffy. We had Trip Tatum was there helping. We had T-Bone and Tina. We couldn't do any of this without them. They take us everywhere, and also the support of everybody else, man. I mean, I wish we could run the car more. We just race so much in Top Fuel, and things might change. We might be able to do that more. And if that does, if we don't run as much, I will take that Bunny and the Boys funny car as far as I can take it and run it for the rest of my life. I plan to take the legacy on and continue it, and we don't want that funny car to ever be parked. And we also have the Corvette body, and we might get booked in October 6th to the 8th at Budds Creek, Maryland for the Supercharger Showdown. But I race every single weekend, and if I can race that car on the weekends that I'm not racing here, I'm there. I mean, that's my happy place. That's where we came from. That's the reason we're out here. So,
wow, we have been running Funny Car Chaos, and over the years we've had things like this. things like these to happen. And, to have that go down like it did at MIR, it was just symbolic of what we try to do is celebrate the history of drag racing, particularly of funny cars, because it has meant so much to so many people. But to have the opportunity not only to celebrate, but to elevate grassroots drag racing of the funny car kind, everybody in the funny car chaos team takes it really seriously to elevate the sport and to elevate this particular type of car and the racers who race it. And you guys being such a great part of it, we can go on and on and on about it because it's just that meaningful. And but we are so excited that you guys were able to be there and to create the opportunity for something spectacular like that to happen. Man,
Right.
we hope you can join us many times in the future with that funny car, put the Corvette body on it, whatever. It'll be great.
Same here. We look forward to a couple more. I love that Funny Car Chaos came to the East Coast because it gave a lot of teams like us, Bill Naves, I know he's been to a couple events, but there was a lot of cars that were able to go there because it came to the East Coast. And I think it made a lot more people excited to try and go to more, especially us. We really enjoyed it. Funny Car Chaos has done a lot for the funny car and altered. I mean, the altered deal was a big deal that Jagger Naves put on. I'll never be able to thank him enough for that tribute. That was a beautiful thing too. But Funny Car Chaos has done so much for the regular funny car driver that doesn't go to NHRA events. Real, like you say, grassroots guys that have a little small garage, little small trailer, and just enough to barely do it that can still do it. You know what I mean? And that's what Funny Car Chaos is all about. It's not about going out to the national events, the divisionals, trying to compete. It takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time, and this is it makes it very special.
Yeah, there were that Burnouts for Bunny and Bear program with Kurt Duckworth and Dan Pedinato in the A Field final, and Bruce Hacker getting the win over Ray Urban in the B Field final. That was some great racing as well. So, hey man, we are so happy that you tonight, and we wish you well in your Super Comp racing at Indy and in Top Fuel as well. So,
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you.
And again,
Thank you
I want to just what you said. I got interrupted real quick. I'm sorry about that, but just for what Jagger Naves and all those people did for Bunny and Bear, I can never repay your thank you enough for that. And I hope that we can continue to do that. And that meant the world to us, and I know it meant the world to them. And I love you all very much, especially you, Jagger.
All right. Gary, man, thanks. Have a fantastic Labor Day weekend at the Big Go, and we'll look forward to seeing you down the road one time very soon.
We'll do our best and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Pritchett, your Alkydigger B Field winner in the Bunny and the Boys funny car on what was absolutely a magical night. Hey, we're going to take a brief break right here and come back with a little bit of preview for MoCan, which is coming up this weekend. So hang in. We'll be right back.
If you can race it, chances are we make a piston or connecting rod for it. Oh, we have about 4,000 to 5,000 different part numbers on the shelf for connecting rods and pistons. So about half of what we sell comes right off the shelf, and the other half is custom-made parts. I am a firm believer in distribution and everybody getting their cut, doing their job, and getting rewarded for it. So we'll see how that goes in the future.
Well, David, as we look forward to MoCan, before we do that, we do got two other winners to mention. And before we throw up some photos, folks, great show we've already had here on Chaos Live tonight. I need you to hit the like button, and I need you to hit the share button. So do that for me so more folks can hear these great winners. Two other winners in other fields that night. Well, Drew Sweetman, he got it done in the D field. David, your thoughts on his race throughout the day to picking up a win in Funny Car Chaos with a very popular East Coast funny car.
It is a very popular East Coast funny car, and you can't hang around social media and put in funny car and not have Frantic Ford come up, because it's just such an iconic name. It's been around so long, just about like Jungle Jim, and for this crew to come in and I think they were like a lot of racers that weren't exactly sure where Funny Car Chaos fit into their program, but they came out, they started making the run, started getting into the rhythm, and they wind up in the final round of that D Field. And of course, we had such great support from a group of people that allowed us to even have this D Field. So we want to give thanks to DC Contracting and DXI Construction, and Ronnie's Hot Rods, Performance Motor Coaches, RV and Marine, American Outlaw Energy, and Spell Paving Services, and the Middendorf companies for stepping up and allowing us to have that D Field. But for Drew and that Frantic Ford team to come out and get that win over the Carolina Outlaw Delbert White, a great final round with a couple of awesome race cars, and it was an outstanding final round. All four of those final rounds went on Saturday night. I mean, they were close. They were very competitive. Nobody broke. Nobody smoked the tires. It was right down Broadway for a great final round, and we felt it. We felt like it was such a terrific race, and I know the fans did too. But so Drew Sweetman putting that Frantic Ford into the final and into the winner's circle for the home state. That's another one of those good things about the race.
Certainly. An individual coming into this race that actually showed up a bit tardy and had challenges in qualifying, but went number 2, provided for us what I think we all want in chaos, and that is a nitro car versus a methanol burner. And certainly he's got a bad methanol burner. Finished 4th last year in NHRA Top Alcohol Funny Car Competition. Hometown boy, if you will, DJ Cox picked up the win in the Rodax Custom Coffee A Field.
Yeah, that car came out, and we were expecting big things, rightfully so, because the reputation. You don't finish number 4 in the world without having consistency and very high performance. But they came out the first 2 runs down the racetrack, struck the tires both times, and found up with themselves kind of over a barrel. It's like, okay, we have one more run, or we're going to be in the D Field, and running on an index way slower than what our cars should run. But they swapped over from the right lane the first 2 times over to the left lane, and I believe I heard the comments that they backed it down some, and the car definitely liked the left lane, and they got a good number. They got a good number on the board to qualify very well in the A Field, and managed to take it all the way to the final round. And that final was nothing but a gunfight. It was a knockdown drag out as the nitro car was thundering through there, ran quicker, faster, but DJ was gone and put the car across the finish line first. And it was just an excellent way to put a cap on an extraordinary night.
For sure. David, I just got to say this. I love all types of drag racing and follow all types of drag racing, but you're not going to get a nitro-powered versus methanol-powered funny car, fantastic plastic flopper action anywhere else at any other series other than Funny Car Chaos. Door Cars don't got it. NHRA doesn't got it. IHRA doesn't got it. Nobody's got it except the Chaos. And I'm glad I can be a part of it. Yeah.
I tell you what, I concur. I've been a part of it since day number 1, and it never gets old, because we have new racers coming in. A lot of the same combinations at each one, but they run things a little bit differently. And seeing the new combinations and the new competitors, and just like this past weekend, seeing people come in and go, wow, this was actually so much fun. Like, as if drag racing is not supposed to be fun. No, it's supposed to be fun. And it's very definitely fun for the fans, for the racers, to show up at a race and just absolutely have a blast. That's what we're about. And it is so much fun to be able to continue to deliver on that promise. I love it.
Yes, sir. And we're going to get to do it again this very weekend, a very important race. MoKan is always special. What a fabulous fan base they have in drag racing overall. But this is a race where there are two races on the same weekend. We're going to be wrapping up the Kearney points race and then roll right into the points race for MoKan. And many racers are taking note of that. Kirk Williams saw him with the strangest altered at the World Fuel Altered Nationals, doing some testing to be prepared for this event. So the defending champ definitely knows it is go time. Tom Furchess, we sure that he is going to engineer, as you like to say, his place in the B field. And there is some bounty out now with big blocks that I'm sure Jade Cook is eyeing, because she went like a 407 in terrible air. And now we're going to be at MoKan. We've got a great event ahead of us.
Oh, we do. And if you only looked at one thing, if you looked at number 1 through 7 in the points chase and how close it is, and the fact that there are two races in one weekend where the points are going to be decided as we finish up Kearney and as we run the MoKan race, there is the potential for an absolute fruit basket turnover in number 1 through 7, as any of those racers could come out with the top 2 finish anyway, and maybe top 3, but probably any one of them could finish number 1. This race is going to have so many implications every time they go down the racetrack in qualifying. Not only is it 5 points for qualifying, but it might also be 10 points for a win light from Kearney. So big time implications with all these racers every time they go down the racetrack. Who's going to be a spoiler? Who's going to be running in the opposite lane and we know who's going to be running in the opposite lane in qualifying. That might take one of these competitors out and kind of put the kibosh on their championship hopes. But we do know that there is a lot on the line, and each of these competitors is really, I expect them to be really wound up for an extremely great weekend at MoKan Dragway. Always fun to be there. The crowd is second to none, and but for these competitors, I mean, the chatter on social media is all over the place. Everybody is focused on getting there, and they are anxious to strut their stuff and make a move, because after MoKan, a week off and then championship finals, and then it's going to be done. And we're going to crown the champion for 2023, and we just don't have any idea right now who it's going to be. We got some idea, probably going to be one of 7 people, but it's close enough that it could be any of them. That is how you like to have a final race of the year come down.
And that is what it is looking like we will get. And we also have a great championship battle on the Nitro Chaos side of things, with just one more race to end the Chaos year there in Lufkin, Texas, between great competitors. Gary Wheeler Jr., who is in that championship fight, he said that he will see us Saturday at MoKan as a spectator. Gary, you need to get a funny car and just go ahead and start competing in funny car chaos too, man.
I concur. Well, Gary has a funny car, and he's got a 55. He's got a 55 Chevy funny car that he's run a few times. It's an alcohol burner with big block Chevy power, and so he's got a funny car. But he has really spent his time in the Nitro Chaos side of things, running that incredible Grand Prix Auto Sports Center dragster and doing so well. He is in it. Yeah. See, I have the 55 Chevy. Thought you still had it.
All right. Well, I need to see that in person, Gary. Come on, bring it, man. Bring it. And, you know, a little daydreaming, how cool would it be that every Funny Car Chaos East winner is at the Classic next year? I hope to see that.
Yeah. You can, the invitation, the welcome mat is always out. And so, you know, sometimes people show up at an event and they get the bug, they get bit, and they get the needle in the arm, as Chris likes to say, and they want some more chaos. They need some more chaos. Well, we can certainly testify that it's habit forming, and everybody's welcome. All those from Chaos Goes East, and April 6th, April 5th and 6th, I think it is, 2024. You got time to plan, get support to get out here. That show is going to be out of this world, and it would be so awesome to have all those racers from the East, or at least some of them who can, to make it down, make it the biggest funny car show ever. And
it's going to be a big one because it's Funny Car Chaos. It will be Nitro Chaos. It will truly eclipse what we've had there in the past, like quite literally.
Yeah, Daryl Jackson has said that it's already said that he's going to be there. The PDRA photographer, he said he's coming in April. He said, enough said, I'll be there. And a lot of us are already counting the days until that time, but not until we get through with Mocan, Baton Rouge, and Lufkin. 3 races left, fans. And there are storylines out the ears, man. So keep tuning in to Chaos Live. Make sure you get on our YouTube channel. Make sure you are subscribed to Flow Racing, because, you know, not only if you can't make the races in person, can you watch on the live stream on Flow Racing, but, you know, after the middle of September, there's no chaos until April, the first weekend in April. So getting a chance to do those replays, you got to be a subscriber. So I'm telling you, get that subscription to Flow Racing and do it fast.
For sure. David, the official recap will be coming out soon on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel, and special for this weekend, since Mocan has such stellar internet, folks, you can expect a free broadcast, if you will, of qualifying Friday from Mocan Dragway, which also will be a part of the eliminations for Kearney. You can see that on the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel and Facebook page. Be sure to be on the lookout for those streams as well, and hit the like button, hit the share button, bring a friend, pop some popcorn, get an ice cold beverage, and enjoy Funny Car Chaos.
Hey, Lee, thanks so much for all the work that you do on the recaps and all the other interviews and everything that you put together. It's a lot of hard work. It makes such a difference, and I know that I'm not the only one who really appreciates the work that you do. So thanks, my friend.
Glad to do it. It is a lot. I still got to wrap it up. Then I'm driving to Indy. Then I'm driving to Mocan. Then I'm driving back to Indy. Yes, dedication and being dumb looks a lot alike sometimes.
Looks a lot alike. Well, what a great time we've had tonight. Race fans, thank you very much for tuning in to this episode of Chaos Live. Got a chance to hear from a couple of our great champions from Chaos Goes East, and we expect to be online next Wednesday with a report from Mocan with that big 2-in-1 race and a preview for coming attractions at Baton Rouge. So you're going to get a chance to see quite a bit of us as we close out the season in 2023, but always we enjoy having you as part of Chaos Live. Whether you're at the track or whether you're watching us on this program, we love having you here, and we'll see you at the drags.
Are you ready to indulge in the RV or marine lifestyle you've always desired? Look no further than Performance Motor Coaches. With our commitment to exceptional customer service and an extensive selection of luxury RVs and boats, we're here to fulfill your dreams. Experience elegance, comfort, and adventure like never before. Stop by the showroom just outside Lubbock, Texas, or shop online 24/7 at performancemotorcoaches.com. Discover the luxury you desire and the service you deserve.